My name is Donald Harbison, and I will be predicting the bond rates from the week of October 21st to the 25th. I will begin by looking at the news each day and analyzing what impact that has on bond rates. I will then compare where the rates start off on Monday and where they end up on Friday and proceed to explain why they ended up the way they did. On Monday, October 21st, the yield curve steepened, with short-term bond rates decreasing and long-term bonds rates increasing. There are many reasons for this change. First, that the ongoing government shutdown was delaying many reports about jobs and GDP growth. As a result, it was speculated that the tapering would have to be delayed until these figures could be calculated. Second reason was that the idea that U.S. Treasuries are 100% secure was beginning to be questioned. This is evident from the bids on the latest securities offered by the Fed. Bids decreased from 4.64 times the offered amount to 4.03 times the offered amount. The final factor was a report released that said new home sales fell by 1.9% in September. On Tuesday, bond rates fell, with the major benchmark, the 10-year Treasury, falling 7 basis points. One cause was a jobs report that indicated fewer jobs were gained than expected. 180,000 new jobs were predicted, but only 148,000 were added. On the other hand, unemployment fell from 7.3% to 7.2%. The general consensus to this news was that the taper would be delayed. Wednesday brought more rate decreases. The major reason for this was that China sent out hints that they plan on tightening their monetary policy. Once investors heard this, they began taking their money out of the stock market and putting it into bonds. A second reason was a report from Goldman Sachs predicting that the Fed would delay the taper until the March policy meeting. The final reason is that with the shutdown over, people finally felt more comfortable putting their money into bonds. Rates continued to fall into Thursday. Once again, reports came in further suggesting that the taper would be delayed. The first report indicated that manufacturing output decreased at the highest rate since the peak of the 2008 financial crisis. The second report suggests that the Eurozone will grow at a lower rate than previously expected. The final report suggests that based on the Fed's last meeting, they may have missed their chance to implement the taper. As a result, they are now back to where they were 6 months ago in regards to when the tapering will begin. Friday did not bring very much change in the rates, although they did fall slightly. The main reason rates did not move much was that most people were waiting for the results of the Fed's meeting the following Tuesday. The slight fall in rates is due to the fact that late Friday, President Obama announced that he nominated Janet Yellen as the next chairman of the Fed. Yellen is known for a dovish approach. This chart compares the yield curves from Monday and Friday. As you can see, rates fell slightly throughout the week. The main reason that rates fell is that as the week went on, it became more and more apparent that the Fed would not be implementing the taper anytime soon. As you can see, the rates are about the same for the first 8 years, and the biggest change is in the 20 to 30-year bonds. This is because delaying the taper in the short term will keep rates lower for now, but it also increases the inflation risk in the future. The following chart shows one-year Treasury rate forecast. As you can see, there was not very much change except in years 2022 through 2025. The Friday rates for 2023 are much lower than where they started on Monday, and in 2024 the one-year rate ended much higher than it was predicted to be on Monday. This chart shows that one-year rates are expected to gradually rise until 2021, at which point they will stabilize for the most part with periodic minor increases or decreases. This is due to the fact that the Fed will eventually have to implement a policy of tapering and spending that has been going on since the recession. The Fed will be forced to do this because if they do not, inflation will rise to dangerous levels.